Hi, welcome to ShowMeTheCurry.com. I'm Hital.
I'm Anuja, and today we're going to show you how to make dosa or dosa. It's like synonymous for South Indian food. Absolutely yummy.
It's delicious.
Crispy, or sometimes some people like it soft. So this delicious rice and dal crepe is like fabulous, isn't it?
It is. And there's so many different ways to eat it. There's so many different recipes out there, definitely. But this one works really good for us. And this is probably a crispy version. So if you're looking for a nice crispy dosa, then stay tuned for this. So here are the ingredients that we're going to use today. We have 2 cups of long grain rice. Now, if you have basmati, which is also a long grain rice, you can use that, but it's not necessary. Any type of regular long grain rice will do. We have 2 cups of that. This is a half a cup of poni boiled rice. Now, boiled rice is different from raw rice. It's available in 2 varieties. So this poni brand of rice is parboiled, and it somehow changes its texture a little bit when it's parboiled. So that's what we're using here. It's half cup. We have 1 cup of urad dal. We have 2 tablespoons of chana dal. And we have 1 teaspoon of methi or fenugreek seeds.
So again, this is another one of those recipes that needs to be made in steps. So you need a little bit of pre-planning for it, but very easy to do. We combined the rice, we washed it, and we soaked it overnight. And over here, we took the rest of the 3 ingredients, the methi, the 2 dals, again, washed it separately and soaked them. So this is all together, the dals and methi together and the rice together. Both of them washed and soaked with ample water overnight. So we have a good blender, one of the key ingredients to making this dosa. You can also use a blender like this, or if you have a stone, even better. So we're going to start off by grinding the dals and the methi.
And we're going to add just a little bit of water at a time. It's important not to dump in a bunch of water at the beginning, otherwise it's very hard to grind in the blender. So we add it as we need it. We're going to start off with a half a cup of water and then add as needed.
Okay, we used 1 1/4 cups of water to grind the dal, and it is absolutely smooth. You should not be able to feel it should be a smooth paste, and you should not be able to feel any of the dal.
So when you're taking out the ground up dal paste into another bowl, we're going to leave just a little bit, maybe about half a cup to 1 cup of the paste in our blender, because we're going to grind the rice next, and it's really starchy to grind rice by itself, so a little bit of that in it will help the grinder move better.
Yep, without overworking it and going kaput on you. So now we're going to add in the rice and do the same thing. We'll keep adding a little bit water at a time, and we'll grind it again to a smooth paste. So our rice is again ground really well. And we're going to pour it into the dal mixture and combine it.
So we ended up using 1 cup of water to grind the rice. And the rice, though it's a very smooth paste, it still will have a little bit of grit in there, and that's perfectly fine. That's what's going to make the dosa crisp.
So we're going to add some salt to this. Now we are using uniodized salt, so any uniodized salt will do. You can use approximately 1.5 teaspoons, or actually it really is to taste, but you can always adjust it later on. So mix it well.
And really we've taken it out into this glass bowl so you can see it, but we're going to end up transferring it into a big pot, because this is going to be fermenting for about 24 hours, and it'll grow and grow, and if you keep it in here, it'll be out.
Yes, it's not big enough. So we are using uniodized salt for this. Now if you are using iodized salt, which is fine, you just will need to salt it later on after the fermentation, because I think the iodine does something, and it reduces it doesn't let the thing ferment as well. So if you're using iodized, salt later. If you're using non-iodized, you can salt now.
Right. So typically batters like this take at least overnight for the fermentation to happen and it to become nice and bubbly and frothy. But depending on what part of the world you're in, if you're in a very tropical place and it's really warm all the time, it will be very soon. But for us, it usually takes 24 hours before we get a nice, really nice fermentation. Right. So that time of fermentation will depend on your climate, but at least you want overnight, and if longer is needed, then that's okay to leave it out longer.
Right. So I think this a lot of different tricks people keep using, mentioning to us, and I think the same process as like your dahi, people put it in blankets, and people put it in your laundry room, and the last time I made it, I actually put it in my car, which was parked outside, so I just put it in there, and voila, I think 8 to 10 hours I was done. I was ready for my dinner.
Right. The other thing you can do is you can keep it in your oven. It has to be tightly covered because you don't want it to form a skin on top. So cover it, and you can keep it in your oven with your oven light on. You don't even have to turn the oven on or anything, but just the heat from the lamp will keep it in a nice warm place. So any one of those tricks will work. But we're going to keep this in, and we will see you tomorrow with the dosa batter fermented. So it's been about 24 hours, 24 hours, and we're back with our dosa batter.
Let's have a look. Whoa. That looks so good. Yes. Risen, definitely.
Perfect.
And let's see. Wow. Look at the fermentation. Beautiful. So we're going to give it one more mix.
Gentle mix.
Yes. Hate to do it, but it's got to be done. And it will deflate because the air is, escaping, and that's okay.
But it is well fermented, so you shouldn't have any problems.
Beautiful. You can also give it a taste test at this point and make sure the salt is okay.
So this recipe of ours has chana dal in it, and what chana dal does is it makes the dosa really crispy, but the other thing that chana dal does is it makes it a little heavier. So to counter that, we're going to add just a pinch of baking soda. Now you don't want to add your baking soda into the entire mix because you're going to take a little bit at a time, just a few scoops here. And we're going to take just a pinch, and when we say pinch, it really is
a pinch
of baking soda, and just add that in there, and that little pinch will do wonders for this. Just mix that through well.
And do this just before you're going to make it.
So mix it through, and we're ready.
So now our dosa tawa is ready. It's hot. It's a cast iron one, so it needs a little time to get heated up. It's really nice and hot, and we're going to go ahead and make the dosas.
So we're going to take a few drops of oil and just rub it on. If you sprinkle a few drops of water over this, it'll just temper it in case the tawa is too hot. Just cool it down slightly.
And once all the wet spots have kind of dried out, you can sprinkle a little bit of oil.
And once you see brown patches coming through, you can loosen the edges. And there's no need to flip it over. And it's ready to serve. Another option is also to sprinkle some dry chutney powder. And we have some potato stuffing.
So our dosas are ready. We've made one masala dosa just to show you different variations, but you can have it plain, you can have it with masala, and the video for the masala stuffing is in another video, so look that up on our website. But let's give the dosas a shot.
All right.
So of course you can have it with chutney, you can have it with sambhar, chutney powder.
Crispy. So we're having this with some coconut chutney and some dry chutney powder. Both of those recipes are also available on our website, ShowMeTheCurry.com, so look those up too.
And for sambhar, you forgot
yes,
sambhar.
and the sambhar, yes. So we've got this whole plate, everything you can find a recipe for.
Right,
So
other than the banana leaf.
But we just wanted to mention, this is one recipe for dosa. It's not the only recipe. There's different types of dosas. There's crispy ones, there's soft ones, there's all different makes and models. So try this one out, see how you like it, and hopefully later on we'll have another one for another variation.
All right. So enjoy your dosas with masala or without, and join us again on another episode of ShowMeTheCurry.com.
Adding a pinch of spice to your life.